Good morning, Franz. Let me fix my Vignon here. Is it... Hello? Where's my Vignon? Cool. I'm so prepared. There I am. Hi, everybody. There we go. Let me put myself in the right spot over here. There. That's better. Hi. Good morning. Conk Lobster was first. No one was early today, it would seem. Cora is here. Ross lives again. Necromancer comes in with the Cubus. And Cora is streaking a 50 stream streak, the big 5-0. Unlimited power. Itty bitty living space. Oh wait, sorry, it's phenomenal cosmic power. Itty bitty living space. Raina audio is intense. What? Oh, might be the desktop audio. I'm so sorry. I accidentally hit my desktop audio to be like... I accidentally hit my desktop audio to be minimum instead of unmute. And I forgot where it was. Is that better? Should I turn it down a little bit more? I can't remember where it was. Yeah, that's better. I don't know why, but it's decided that like I think I need to add an audio source specifically for Spirit City. So that I can turn off the desktop audio one. Let's see. You see, I have a game capture, but for some reason Spirit City's audio is coming through the desktop audio system and not. Maybe we can do this. Do you hear the audio twice? Do you still hear the audio? Hey Roman, how you doing? We're doing a little bit troubleshooting. Oh, sorry, I'm choking on myself apparently. Okay, you still hear the audio. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. You're a bit sick? Oh no. I hope you feel better soon. Alright. Do you hear any music? Other than my usual music. Hold on. Do you hear a woman singing? Excellent. I have fixed my problem. I will turn on the usual music for you guys. This means that now I can turn off the monitor on the music. So that... hold on. We'll add... How do I add another sound source? Yeah. It's because the desktop audio is turned off. Ignore this, please. We'll turn that off. Hold up. Sorry, struggling here. Delete that one. I need to add another source, another audio source to my OBS to specifically capture Vinyan's audio. You managed to draw just a tiny bit. Oh yeah, no, Cora, I was doing a test. Also, good morning, Maranai. Yes, my question was, can you hear a woman singing? Because I was playing a different kind of music, but I asked, can you hear music? And I realized that my music was on, so I had to ask again. That's why we're having all the, like, I can hear music. Because I'm trying to separate my desktop audio from what stream hears, because I don't want copyright music on my stream. And one of the reasons I haven't been doing co-working is I can't write with the wrong music. You can the voices in your head? Here, yes. Alright, hello. Oh my god. Let me move this window, thank you. I bet you guys can't hear those cans yet. Still trying to figure this out. Hold on. Might have to do application capture? We're troubleshooting our OBS live. Alright, somebody Havarti. Not Havarti, Hydrate. Starts with an H. Or I'll just hydrate myself. Here. Thank you. Could you guys hear that? I'm gonna take a couple of sips of coffee now. You heard the cans? Excellent. This is perfect. My audio Could you hear that? Did you hear Havarti? Fuck. Problem is, now I've got to create an audio capture for OBS to capture Havarti specifically. But then you'll hear the music as well, which means I'll have to turn the monitor off for the music, which means I get no music at all. Although I could duplicate the music channel. No, for some reason I can't modify any of the music or any of the audio channels that I actually have. It doesn't give me the option to add a new audio source. I'll have to look into this more after stream. Poop. I hate that. Okay, we'll just have to turn the desktop audio back on for now so that we can have Havarti audio. Because I would like to be able to listen to music while I write in co-working mode. That's not the music that I'm listening to on stream. This is one of the reasons why I haven't really been co-working, because it's really hard for me to write when I don't have the right audio with it. Either way, I'm going to turn off our Blue Machine refs. I had to add more length to the document. I did a little bit of work on Raven Eyes yesterday. I redid Pale Bloom. Still not sure about the green eyes at this point. He's only ever shown up once so far in, like, 2 drafts. Because that's just how far I've gotten. I'm not sure about the dark scarf. Not sure about the colors. I mean, they are just slapped in there for now. Kind of like Siren Song, I'm not sure on her outfit at all. It doesn't look witchy enough, it just looks too normal. I mean, her skirt's supposed to be made out of water, I just haven't gotten around to it. Otherwise, I was gonna work on Blue Machine today. He's a bit of an angry boy. I made Starcatcher taller, closer to his actual height. I think I have to move his name up a little bit. Hold on. Where's Starcatcher's folder? Here it is. There we go. I also started working out his name. Still needs work, but it's there. Rainbows. Rainbows are fun. And after Blue Machine, we just have Mass Effect, Low Beat, and Lemon Sunrise and Citrus Sunset, who will probably draw together. And that'll be most of our witches just, like, designed out, not quite finished. Blue Frost is now currently the most finished one. I'm just being lazy about doing the laces on her boots. Thank you, Ross. I would like to redo Val. Valkyrie is... she might have 2 forms, actually. There'll be this one, and then there'll be her armored one. And I had to reset my workspace again yesterday because my mouse grabbed the window the wrong way and tossed my layers bar out of the program. It happens all the time. Also, we need to fill in our background. Paint bucket tool, and then we put on the darker version. Grab that. Paint bucket tool. Blue Machine. I've never drawn this character before. Ever. His thumb's on the wrong side. I started drawing his hand one way, and then I just continued drawing it the other. backwards hands. Sketches are meant to be sketchy. Forgot to ask because you were distracted trying to draw. How's everyone? I'm good. I hope everybody's good. I know Roman's sick. A little bit sicky. Roman said they were sick earlier. Cora was sick. He told me last night that he was getting better. The only reason I am caring this much about his shape is because his pants are tight. Maybe eyes a little bit smaller. We'll set the sketch to multiply, reduce the opacity. Meds! It is time for meds. See, Neff isn't here to remind us. Everybody take your medicine. Fine Lines, welcome back. How are you doing today? You missed the OBS troubleshooting. It's Maraca time. I've been taking meds. If you have medicine to take and you haven't done it already, take it! But only if it's time to do so. Don't take your meds at the wrong time. We're drawing Blue Machine, the witch that I have never drawn, like most of my witches, because most of the time, in the past, drawing took far too long. But thanks to you guys in stream, drawing is a lot faster than it used to be. And I'm still trying to get even faster at it. I started sketching this briefly last night before I went to bed, maybe like 5 minutes. So I am getting faster. If I can get the body right, it goes so much faster. This one's gonna be interesting because it's also like stuff that I'm not used to doing. It's a lot of cybernetic kind of deals. So we'll do outfit sketch. And maybe we'll go for this. He's got kind of a similar look to Highwire. Helps if I draw with not the eraser. I've been drawing preparing for uni. A youngin'. What are you studying? Yeah, the part that you missed pretty much was I redid Pale Bloom, and Raven Eyes is looking much better. Did a little bit of fixing with her last night. I think the way I'm gonna treat it is if I find the design to be good enough, they get their name above their head. And I'm trying to do it in a stylized way so that everybody's is different. You know, kind of like a nameplate. The way I was doing all the hunters with their signatures. Or at least written names. All unique, all different. Alex. Okay. Outfit sketch. I've been spending studying for extra point for TEG curriculum? What's TEG curriculum? Well, you can't see neon green, can you? Still not dark enough. The curriculum. Oh, okay. It's gonna be like, is this like some country that I don't know as a system that I am unaware of? Very likely. We're just gonna go kind of with these pants because they're neat. This knee is incorrect. This knee should be down here. His arm is wrong too. His upper arm is too long, just a smidge. Actually, I think it's just too big. We'll grab these. Hello. Grab these 2 layers. Make it just a bit smaller. Our Angie boy. weird that it like just cuts off the inner seam there. Okay. Everybody working hard. Yeah, turn off Raven Eyes swatch here. Oops. What layer is this on? Problem is when you start putting swatches on the wrong layer. There we go. Working hard or hardly working? Yep. Going quiet since trying to art works well. I hate being an unpaid driver. Then just stop driving. Okay, here's the question with this character. Do we want to go for this look for the coat or this look for the coat? So, 1 or 2. He's probably going to have a hood-like thing like this, so 3. It's more of headwear than anything else. So after I finish being that unpaid driver, spoons are gone. Yeah, I understand. I totally get it. Kind of a nice mossy green that I had going over here. And there's this other nice emerald green that I got from the grass. This one here. Some nice greens. Save those for forest later. It's gonna be a quiet working day. As I try to figure out how to draw mechanical things that I've never drawn before. from angles that aren't typical. Kind of like this deep light thing going on here. You got own power glovies. It's gonna be fun drawing all these little pieces later. And by fun, I mean I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna hate myself so much later. I've never drawn this character before, and I don't know what he really looks like. This is a horrible mess. Feel so tired, I'm just gonna do my arm stretches and maybe play Moonstone Island. Well, have fun with that. Sounds like a good time. I don't know what Moonstone Island is, but it sounds cute. Sounds like a cozy game. Concentrating very hard on this, sorry. This is not something I typically draw. It's cozy. It's like Farming Sim, Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley meets Creature Catcher Pokemon with some dungeon exploration and turn-based card battles. Interesting. Sounds like somebody took all of the things they like and mashed them together into one thing. Little Angie boy witch with his bright blue hair. It's not gonna be that bright though. been trying to unfoobar my sleeping schedule. The streaming really helps. Although yesterday I did have a bit of a nap because, man, I was tired. Oops, wrong way. Hey Fantasy, how you doing today? We're having kind of a quiet stream. It's kind of a no-talk day. Oh, Ross is gonna go lie down for a bit. Okie doke. Enjoy your lie down, Ross. Just gonna grab this shade of blue. check all of the references before I finally found the one I wanted to turn off. Guess I don't need this one either. I don't need the pants on. I guess I'm gonna go for something similar with his shirt. And then we'll work on next layer up from this. Feels like one of my early versions of Icarus. If Slack Puma or Christine were here right now, they'd be like, is that Icarus? What? Hey Death, welcome back. The museum was fun, but they didn't have the one painting I actually wanted to see. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. I hate that moment when I'm like, my mouth is full and then my body's like, you're gonna yawn right now. You can't swallow your coffee until you yawn. Screech. Ah, yeah. My dad's already here for my coffee mug. Is it that time already? Thank you. Sorry to make you wait. There haven't been as many hydrates, so I had to just like guzzle my coffee. It was cold anyways. necromancer. I have a little bit of soda left over from last night. That's what you're gonna have to get. First I yawn. Don't threaten me with a good time. Flat 7-Up Zero. Actually tastes pretty good. Don't drink that, it's too late. Flat 7-Up Zero. That's what I had. Yes, age verification will be mandatory on Discord soon, but you know what? Discord has already lost me as a customer. I lost my 4-year badge yesterday. I was a Nitro user for 4 years. I'm not a Nitro user anymore. If you have Discord Nitro, cancel it. Tell everybody to cancel their Discord Nitro. And send them an email saying, I canceled my Discord Nitro because you're putting in age verification. And if hundreds of millions of users do that, then Discord will have fucked around and found out. The reason they're going for age verification is not for the protection of children, it is to get your data. It is to get your private information so that they can use it to sell to advertisers, so that they have money, so that when they go public, the investors will be like, look, they're making money hand over fist. So that they can be a publicly traded company and earn lots of money. I'm sorry, but no. Yeah, you haven't given them any payments, which means they don't have a credit card. Sorry, I accidentally moved that. Let's lock that layer. Since you haven't given them any money, you haven't input a credit card, they'll definitely think you're a teenager. And of course, they're going to be using AI to determine whether or not you're a youth. And quite frankly, if you can't be a present parent to your crotch goblins, I don't want to have to be punished with the loss of my information to a corporate entity that's already been hacked before because you just can't focus on your kids. Like, excuse me. Watch your kids. Go fuck yourself. I'm not giving up my personal information. We already have too much of that with information scraping. So, if you know anyone with Discord Nitro, tell them to cancel it. Tell them what's going on. Don't give up your freedom for a little bit of security. That doesn't work for us in the UK because of our damn government. Well, you need to talk to the government. You need to talk to your representative and be like, hey, I don't approve of this. There are better ways to protect children on the internet. Like, finding out if the kids on the internet on these programs, and you have a list of approved programs for kids, and they're heavily monitored by the government, the kids can only use those programs. And if your kid is found to be on one of the other programs, you fine the fucking parents for not being present. You want to protect kids? It's the parents' job to protect kids, not the government's. The government is just trying to get your information and limit your freedoms so that you don't have the option of keeping full privacy. I'm sorry, but the best thing about the internet is the fact that it's anonymous. It is also simultaneously the worst part of the internet, but guess what? If you monitor what everybody did on the internet, there wouldn't be any freedom of speech. You would end up with more dictatorships, like you're getting in the United States, like you have in China. There's no freedom of speech there. And now your devices listen to you. Discord actually actively listens to you as well. If your microphone is not turned off, or like Discord is not actively shut down on your computer, it still listens to you. Yeah. And if you can, put a support ticket in saying you canceled your Nitro because of their age verification. I also have a post on Blue Sky. If you want to go share that, I did post it to announcements or news rather. I know not everybody watches the news channel because the news sucks. But I posted it to news and I think the Corner of Woe. Uh, the link to the Blue Sky post. Take your meds, Neff says. Everybody, take your medicine if you haven't already. Those maracas are important. Oh, I don't have anything to hydrate with. That hydrate's gonna have to wait till the tea arrives. And a Streech. Well, you know what? It's been an hour and a half, so we can stand up. Here we go. Up we go, everybody. Hello. I'm awake again. Is this a good height to work at? It might be a little bit lower. We're gonna Streech by standing. We'll just toss our chair out of the way. How you doing today, Neff? You doing good? I hope you're doing good. But yeah, if you've got Discord Nitro, cancel it and let them know. And go share my post on Blue Sky. It's actually doing pretty well. Let's roll. Meow! Did you see that little white like do a backflip off my head? That was pretty great. The more emotes you post, the better. Cora coming in with a tier 3 sub. Oh, I love this being able to stand up and just weeble back and forth while I'm working. It's the best thing ever. This is probably one of the best purchases I've ever made. Other than the fact that the desktop I have is not quite big enough for this desk. They didn't tell me that there were different depths. So, I bought the bigger one. And, so now I have to get an extra board and put it on the back. But that's okay, because I need to take this one and completely sand it down, but I can't really do that until spring anyways, because I have to do it outside. And, so I have to wait till, like, the first, like, 20-degree day. Ned, walk while you stand and work. Yeah. I mean, I am doing the little, like, step back and forth. Which is kind of nice. I'm not in any NFC server. Not safe for children. Or what? NFC? I don't know what NFC is. I was gonna say not safe for children, but that's not. That doesn't work. Hello again, Death. I don't have anything to hydrate with. You're gonna have to wait till tea is available. From how you write, they'll see you as an adult. Look, because of my mom's bad spelling after her first stroke, and because she accidentally clicked on a kid's game, they thought she was underage, and no matter what I did, despite the fact that there were like 6 years or 9 years worth of conversations with this one person showing that, yes, she's my elderly mother, they still banned her account. Even while I was in the middle of moderation for this. I was in the middle of help with a ticket open and everything, and they still wouldn't help me. And they still deleted her account. So their system doesn't work. Their staff doesn't know their ass from their elbows when it comes to dealing with these underage quote unquote accounts, and you just need to say, okay, if you've got a kid and they're found to be on social media and they're under the age of 16, you're going to get a fine. But even people will be like, oh, the government's telling me what places on the internet I can allow my kid to be and not be, and that's not fair. But you don't allow children into bars and strip clubs either. And that's the government telling you where your kids can and can't be. It's the same thing. We're talking about age verification online. Uh, Forcing companies to take your information is not the way to do it, because there's no way these companies are going to be like, oh, okay, we've got a picture of your government ID and your face and all of your biometric data, and we're going to delete it now. No, they're going to turn around, they're going to collect it, and they're going to sell it. And it's just an excuse. We already disallow children onto onto properties in physical reality based on their age. Children can't go into strip clubs. Children can't go into adult video stores or adult toy stores. That's no one is questioning that. So guess what? You have to monitor your children on the internet because it's the same thing. You wouldn't just let your kid wander around the city by themselves, would you? No. So guess what? You gotta monitor your kid while they're on the internet. That's just the way it is. And if you're doing a bad job as a parent, guess what? You get fined. It shouldn't be up to the companies. As a matter of fact, I would much rather it not be up to the companies, because guess what? They're going to take that information and they're going to sell it to third parties. And if a kid has to verify for something, they're really going to sell that information, and it's just going to create places where predators will linger. How in the world will we communicate now if somebody delete their account so we'll have no way to talk to my friends in other countries? Well, you will have to work something out with your friends, like TeamSpeak. Guess what? It's open source and you can host your own server. It's just like everybody left Twitter and went to Blue Sky. There will be another company that opens another program that's going to be just like Discord. And you just try and keep the same names. You get your email address from your friends. Guess what? The internet is fracturing. Like Mark Carney said, there's a rupture happening, and the status quo is changing. For the way the internet sort of amalgamated into these big, like, super nations of corporations, it happened slowly, and it's like everything becoming a conglomerate. You know, how we used to have all of these little stores and little mom and pop shops, and everywhere you went, everything was different. And then after a while, things just started amalgamating into this big monster corporation. And you got things like Walmart. And guess what? Even Walmart is going away because they can't compete with, like, the super monster Amazon. And people are like, well, I'm not going to work with Amazon anymore because this is ruining the economy and everything around me. People are going back. It's kind of like that time where they were like, oh, millennials are ruining all these companies because they stopped buying our garbage. People are fed up. We need an alternative to YouTube. And even Europe is like, we need an alternative to Visa and MasterCard because they're controlled by the American banking system and we can't trust them anymore. It's almost like megacorps are bad. The only thing the government is only after not have control of free... What? Death. English. Either way, it's wrong. If you have to verify your physical person with your government ID on the internet, then you lose anonymity. And quite frankly, I don't want an American corporation having my biometric data in days where the United States is falling very rapidly into fascism. As a matter of fact, they're already there. They're already creating a database of people they don't like, people that they want to arrest. And you know what? When they come and take over my country, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to go after the people they know have written things like Donald Trump needs to foxtrot Oscar into the ground. People like me, when they take over my country, they'll grab all of our data from the government and be like, oh, this person lives at this residence. Go arrest them. They're to be executed. You want me to keep going? Because I will. This is how important your security is. People are like, oh, you're being paranoid. No. God, my dad was military intelligence. No, I'm not being paranoid or exaggerating. All the targeted advertisements, people are like, oh yeah, I was in a phone call with someone and I mentioned, a vacation they were going on, and suddenly all of my ads on all of my internet on my phone and my browser on my desktop are all like offering me luggage and travel packages, and it's because they're all listening. And people think that they just don't get it. Your Alexa is listening to you. Your Siri is listening to you. Discord is listening to you, and they're taking that data and they're using huge swaths of land, water, and electricity to run these algorithms to sell more shit to you that you don't need. Exactly, Roman. These governments and tech companies can fuck right off. This is why I invested in Gander Social, because in Canada they're a public trust company, and if they do things that are bad and against what they have publicly said that they are going to do, and they are caught for these things, they can go to jail. Which is why after stream, I'm going to be messaging Gander Social and being like, hey, you have an opportunity right now to launch an equivalent to Discord that falls under your public trust company. And these are all the ways they make money from the user base. Like, I love Discord Nitro, okay? You know, I hate paying for things. I'm half Dutch, okay? I fucking hate paying for things. And I will wear my pajama pants until they're literally falling apart. There's giant holes in the pants that I'm wearing right now because the seams have deteriorated because I don't want to buy a new pair, okay? But I will pay for Discord Nitro because it was good. I used it all day, every day. It's the way I communicate with everybody I know. I don't use social media to communicate with anybody. I use Discord. And the fact that I canceled my Discord after 4 years of paying for it should say something. That's how important it is for me to not give up my information, especially to an American company in this day and age. You can clip that rant if you want. I think Discord is making a very bad move, and I'm going to go to Gander Social and talk to them about maybe creating a Discord alternative that falls under the public trust that Gander is already utilizing. They've already got the system in place for it. They're building a blue sky alternative that's Canadian only. All of the servers are on Canadian soil, so they fall under Canadian laws, which are more strict than American laws. And I I think it's better, and I hope Gander Social opens up to other people around the world to show people, we can do this right. We don't have to live with these mega corporations running everything. It can be a publicly funded, publicly owned company that's not designed to make billions of dollars. Who needs that money, anyways? Nobody needs billions of dollars. What we need is a democratic and open and free internet. Which is another reason why I want to switch to Linux, because, quite frankly, Microslop can go fuck itself. All this Copilot and shit that they're putting in, like, Cortana was kind of like, yeah, alright, I'll live with you and just, like, tell you to fuck off every time you interact with me and find a way to uninstall you. But now they're, like, integrating into the system. They've taken their BitLocker. So BitLocker used to be a private company. Microsoft bought it, and they're like, oh, guess what? You no longer have access to your own encryption keys. We're going to keep those safe for you in the cloud. But if a government comes along with a subpoena for your encryption key, we're going to give it to them. So ICE can go read all of your encrypted data. I'm sorry. Like, I don't do anything illegal. I have nothing to hide. But they can fuck off. Because, you know what? My privacy is more important than your national security. Quite frankly. Especially your national security is fragile and run by an egoist who has a very, very sensitive little chip on his shoulder. The Taco Man. This puny, limp, dick, incompressible, jizz trumpet, tiny fingered, Cheeto-faced, ferret-wearing shit gibbon of a president who never should have gotten reelected. Denmark have made it so you can copyright your face and voice so no AI can use it. Cool. That should be standard. Governments are afraid of not having control of freedom. Well, yeah, insecure governments are, Death. Insecure governments are afraid of not having control of your freedoms. But that's because they're doing something they shouldn't be. If they're afraid of the people having freedom, that means they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing. Oh, hi. We're having a good talk about information security. Yep. What? You're talking to the cat. Okay. My dad's talking to the cat. Papa's talking to the cat. He does that. I do that too. Everybody talks to the cat. Time to move to Denmark then? Well, you know what you do? You get your government to get in on it. And this tea is just a little bit too hot for me to drink. If I sip it loudly, just slurp right into the microphone. Sorry, you got me going on a subject I'm very passionate about, which is, information security and freedom of speech. And also the paradox of intolerance. God, that one gets me going too. I'm gonna take a little trip to the demon's room, or a trip to the little demon's room. That's the words I meant to say. I will be right back. I'm back. Did I scare you? Neff with his very own customized tinkle command. The man adding more to my stream than I do. Doesn't want to be a moderator. I'm a moderator in a couple streams and I never show up to those people's streams either. So it's no wonder my moderator never shows up. It's not like I need one. But yeah, I think I might I'm gonna send an email to Gander Social if I can find an email address for them. I'm not sure if there should be a way. There should be one. And I'm gonna recommend that they create a Discord alternative. You've seen the medic meme you posted. I have not. Oh yeah, the one with the bunnies. I didn't read the text above it. I just saw a man being man. That's hilarious. I didn't even see the medic part. Also, that 1 hour of people laughing at the worst possible moments that I shared was hilarious. I listened to the whole thing while I was drawing last night. And I was laughing so hard. I went to bed real happy. There's something about laughter that's it's really contagious. And I love it. We're totally flipping the mood from earlier. Just to, you know, change subject randomly. I'm gonna grab this neon green here and use this for sketching. I need to do, I need to do the shoes. But, like, I don't know whether to do the sneakers and then do, like, the armor parts on top of it. Because I really like these, like, little boots. I don't know where that's from, but I like it. A dead rabbit is a good rabbit, yes. Have you never seen ReZero? Alright. Back to work. I need a little key that's just Control-Z. Actually, I think I have one of those. Is it? No, that's focus mode. Pen properties. Oh, and that's the eyedropper tool. And that's the move canvas. Ooh. I'm gonna have to change one of the hotkeys on my tablet for when I'm standing up to be Control-Z and another to be Control-V. We're just gonna make shit up here. On the bright canvas, let me switch that down to the darker one so that we can see that. Problem is, if you do armor like this, you need to have a joint in here because otherwise you won't be able to move your ankles. You want to do that? No, I don't want to do that. I do want to do this. Just making up power armor. Don't let the cuteness fool you. Yeah, really. Anyway, thank you for listening to my rant earlier about information security. I'm definitely going to talk to Gander after stream and see if they might be interested in expanding their company's scope a little bit. Because quite frankly, we need to do something. I don't trust Discord anymore. They've lost my trust completely. And they're also going to be creating a youth council. It's like a little like government kind of thingy for like 13 to 16-year-olds, like a global youth council. And quite frankly, that is how you attract predators to your platform. Roblox has this thing where you can only talk to kids who are in your age group, apparently. And you can't talk to age groups higher than yours. I'm not sure if you can talk to age groups lower than yours. It would make sense that you can't. So basically, you're segregating the the age groups now too. And like, my friend Taylor is 9 years younger than me. I met him when when I was 19 on Gaia, and he was like 11 or 12 because of the like birthday difference. So he's like a little less than 9 years younger than me. And like I never would have met him if we had those systems in place. And like we've become excellent friends. I got to know his mom before she passed away. If he was planning to get married when gay marriage was first allowed, and I was going to be invited to his wedding, but I think they ended up breaking up before then. I never would have had those experiences had we had those systems in place that prevented people from meeting people of other age groups, right? Like, that is a friendship that's gonna last until my dying day. There are people on Discord that I've met through Skilltree that are underage, and I never would have met those people if we had okay death if we had like segregation in place. You know, I like to be a mentor. I'm just not great with kids. But I treat kids with the same respect I would treat an adult, right? And that's what kids need. They need mentors in these spaces. And the problem is, the ones who usually end up being the mentors in these kids' spaces are also predators. And we need to have better systems in place for protecting those kids, and age verification is not one of them. It's not going to work. It's going to backfire quite horribly, in fact. The internet didn't really exist when I was a kid, so like I don't have the experience of growing up with the full-fledged internet as we have it today. I will fully admit I lack experience in that place. But I'm also the kind of person that if I see someone doing something that's, sussy business, I'm going to report them. And I'm going to make sure the kids stay away from them. I will warn the community. Oh, there comes Tesla pushing on my door looking for kibble. There's no kibble in his bowl. You're going to have to be hungry, Nugget. But yeah, I would not have made some of the friends that I have today if kids weren't allowed to have had interactions with people older than them or younger than them. Like, come on. There are less restrictions on Catholic priests than there are for internet users, it seems like. And that should be pretty damning. The whole Epstein thing didn't happen because we had children interacting with adults in adult spaces. The Epstein thing happened because they targeted children. And no matter what kind of restrictions you put in place, the bad guys are all going to find the way around it. Apparently I'm losing weight again because I gotta tie my pajama pants tighter. I'm falling because I'm standing here. It's for the hydrating enough. I'll get in just a sec. Retying the string on my PJs. Either that, the string is just losing structural integrity, which is also very likely. As I said, these pants are like full of holes. I think I got these at the start of the year before the pandemic. So these pajama pants are 6 years old. I should replace them. But they still function, so why would I? So this needs to go up. This needs to go out. This needs to go in. This needs to go down. Alright, we're gonna work on the coat.
Let's reduce our references here. They're getting kind of in the way. What's this one? We'll keep that one up for now. Because I don't need that one on anymore. Where's the boots? Hello? Oh, it's the one layer I didn't check. Of course. I don't even want to know how many layers I have in this one file now. What's this one? This one's the helmet. This one's the mask. Try and organize them in a way that kind of makes sense. It's always the last place you look, literally. I always like that the 4 elements can stand for life. Oh. I suppose lightning could be air. Nugget? Hi, Bobbins. Woo. He's coming and rubbing up against my legs. Okay, Christ, gotta do this over again. Okay, we're gonna turn that one off for the time being, and these two. Wait. There we go, that's better. Suppose I can turn that off too. So what I'm gonna do, rename this to Forest King Swatches and drop that up into Forest King's folder. I definitely kind of want to do like the little hood thing that that this one's got going on here. I'm still not sure about the coat. But he definitely needs something more than what he's got. Quickly color in this leg armor here. That's a little bit better. Reduce the saturation. Decrease the luminosity. Roman's taking notes. This guy's probably going to end up being a buff adult. Yeah, sure. We're here to talk about character ideas. We're here to talk about everything. What do you mean air? Air is not one of the, in the four elements. Four elements are fire, ice, lightning, and earth. Look, the only Spyro game I played was Spyro the Dragon. And that was on the PlayStation. It was a very long time ago. But all the typical elements are earth, air, fire, and water. Can't tell me otherwise. Alright, we're gonna sit down again. Down we go! A little bit lower. One of these days I will figure out the exact height that I like for standing and working, and sitting and working, and program them into my desk. Into the little controller. This is still too high. Too low. I need right between. Okay, so coat 1 or 2. Or we could go with 3, which would be, I think this one. Whoops, wrong layer. It would essentially be something like this. I feel like this is more teen-like, whereas number 1 is very adult-coded. Okay, there's an element, but I called it wind. Character idea I have is a hippie demon who is a violin and uses a violin bow as a sword. Oh, that's a violin. Violin. Sounded better in my head. Epic fail. Okay, I think for jacket we're gonna go something in between number 2 and 3. Which means it's always the one that not clicked on. Number 1 is gonna go away. What layer is this on? It's on the outfit sketch layer. Okay. Man, I'm gonna run out of characters to design. I'm gonna have to start writing on stream. Whatever shall I do? Let's go back to outfit sketch. I want to bring in some of these elements. This has become Icarus's shirt. My character Icarus had a shirt that very much had a design like this. As a matter of fact, we're gonna go down here on the waistline. Just gonna steal my old character's shirt. Wait, come on now. Gotta clean up the sketches. Yes, so. I think we're gonna drag this all the way down. It's funny because these are Icarus's colors too, and the kind of pose he would take. I've basically just created my old character over again. Authorial recycling.
What became of my good boy Icarus? He's turned into such a bad boy. A bad man. Okay, what layer are these on? Put these on the armor layer? Okay. Shirt. Initially, this was just a tertiary character, but he started growing on me, kind of like a fungus. And then I gave him some more character depth, and lo and behold, he became an actual character. Outfit sketch. You know, I'm gonna have just a little bit of seam right here. Oop, what the hell? I'm going to do this. Kind of like how you have on the pants where it just cuts off at the seam. Then we lock this layer. Thanks for the hydrate, Death. And you don't have to apologize, Fantasy. I understand tech makes you nervous. Why do you feel the need to apologize for that? You don't have to apologize. Pants. Lock the layer. Grab that color. Grab this color. This will all be refined down into proper lines and patterns. Then he changes hair color. He's basically just becoming Icarus. Made a playlist of powers and abilities. A playlist? Thank you for the hydrate and the posture check, everybody on Shrimp Lane Spines. I haven't had one of those in a while. Give yourself a little wave back and forth. Stretch out those sides of your rib cages. Oh, yeah. Just a little, like, wiggle, 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 back and forth, side to side, like seaweed in the ocean currents. Just twirl yourself around a little bit. Yeah. And tea. Delicious. Probably doesn't help that, ooh, brutal. Wait, turn it completely black. Oof. Just some
random shapes here and designs. I think I'm gonna pull that bright green. Grab the airbrush. So you get like a hint of the it glows. Like music for Powers ideas. Like JoJo. I haven't seen JoJo, so I wouldn't know. No, just powers, abilities, ideas, and more. What do you mean by a playlist? Like YouTube videos? Spotify? Or are you just making a list, like writing a list? Okay, we're gonna use this bright green and we're gonna, whoops. We're gonna sketch our coat. And then let's, taking inspiration from the shape of this one, and we're going to take inspiration for designs from this one. So, let's, too high. Like a little tab hanging off with like a buckle. Oops, that's the wrong thing. And the base of our coat is going to be oops. I'm really liking this character design. I'm gonna have to put like armor plating on his thighs, I think. Or have a secondary under layer to his shirt to add something to the front and back. I'm gonna go back to our green. And maybe we'll make the top half of the coat this color. However, whoops. The hood is going to remain the darker color. Not sure I like that. It's alright, I'll look at chat in just a moment. My brain seems to be on a roll, so I use it while it's working. I can get rid of the goats. We'll turn off the rest for now. I have put in the Discord box. Okay, so it is a YouTube playlist. Okay. Jumps fingers and thought, it's a shame you absolutely refuse to consider Nova Scotia. Say, look, my crazy family, crazy part of my family that's excommunicated family who lives out there, not going there. Where I'm looking at would be a horror show for Necromancer. Sensitive computer technology servers would enjoy the salty sea air. I probably wouldn't enjoy the salty sea air. Alright, we can delete that folder. Not quite done with Raven yet. How do I want to write his name? Ooh, that might not be too bad. once they get their name, their design is more or less done. Except you can't see Pale Bloom's name now. I'll just turn off the dark background. There. Witch done. Fantasy, you can't shut yourself in a bubble every time you get scared. That's not healthy. So you want to move to a place that's completely unlivable, Neff. It's a toxic place. You want to move there. This doesn't seem smart. Your hippie demon idea sounds good. I said it sounds violent. Like violin. But it's violent. Because you use the bow as a sword. Huh. Nightlight is the only one who has a name on his character whose design is not done. I need to completely redo that. I am absolutely not happy with Val's design. Yes, it's a terrible joke. Just know, Fantasy, that they're gonna request age verification, and you have to give up your information to be able to access certain aspects of the server and the program. And they're like, oh, we're gonna use AI to determine, you know, based on how you talk and like a facial recognition thing, but we'll delete it right away in most cases. Meaning, I don't think they will. So just don't give them your biometric data, don't give them any money, and as soon as a new platform pops up, move to that one. It's the same reason why I never bought a Cricket machine, and anybody who uses Cricket, I'm just like, why do you still buy Cricket? They wanted to make their machines a subscription service, kind of like Audi and their heated seats. You have to pay a subscription fee to use your fucking heated seats. Why would you do that? It's built into the machine. It's like Windows. Windows is like, oh, you want to use Windows Mail instead of signing into each and every one of your individual Google accounts? Well, we're going to make it filled with ads, and you're going to upgrade to the latest version, which is integrated with AI, so I moved to Thunderbird. Submit a selfie for age verification. There's been a sudden explosion of Gandalf cosplays around the world. Yeah. What about your friends on Discord? What about your friends on Discord? It doesn't matter. Too bad, I guess. That's the way these companies treat us. We're nothing more than products. Neff gave me his email last night. Guess what? We might have to go back to communicating via email until we find something else. But you know what? People are like, oh, Discord is too big to die. But I bet you if another company started tomorrow and said, oh, here's an alternative to Discord, and we're a public trust company, and we're never going to require you to have age verification unless your country demands it. And here's transparency on this is how we handle your data, and you can delete all of your information at any given time, and you can also download your information and move it to another platform, kind of like you can with Blue Sky, Mastodon, etc., Gander Social. Yeah, that's what you're... If a new company popped up tomorrow, I would be there. I would drop Discord like a hot potato. The same way I will never buy a Cricket machine. I will also never buy an Audi.
because they had the audacity to think that they could get away with, you know, thinking, oh, people will pay for the subscription to their heated seats because they don't want their ass to freeze in winter. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna get an electric blanket and plug it in, have it modified so it can plug into the cigarette lighter into my car, and use that as my heated seat. Because fuck you, that's why. Yes, TeamSpeak is very basic, and you have to have a subscription to host your own server. And, but it is open source, I believe. You've been friends with someone for 6 years and you're both privacy paranoid, and you haven't exchanged email addresses and gone to encrypted mail yet? If you're that paranoid about your security, you wouldn't touch Discord or Twitch. Quite frankly, you would exchange emails and then you would encrypt every email you sent to one another. Audi was certainly expensive to fix anyways, yes. Confirmed by an Audi mechanic that it's expensive and just as basic as every other car. Exactly, it's the brand name. And you know what? I'll go with the Silhouette Cameo before I ever touch a Cricut machine. For the same reason that they had the audacity, the nerve, the gall to think that we would pay for access to a machine that we already own. It's like the 3D printer thing I've been sharing in the news channel where they're trying to ban 3D printers from printing anything unless it's first verified by a database run by the government, and I'm like, excuse me? Fuck you. You're gonna create an underground movement overnight if you do that. You don't know how to do that? Well, there are tutorials, Fantasy. Learn how. If you're that paranoid about your security, you will learn how to do it. And that way, the government's going to take like 8,000 years trying to decrypt your email when all you did was say hi to your friend. And it wastes their resources. And it's wonderful. YouTube University, absolutely. I learned how to do everything I know how to do from YouTube at this point. But now you have to be careful because a lot of those things out there are like, this is an AI thing, and it tells you the wrong information. And that the YouTube allowing AI content on their platform, period, is another reason why I want to leave YouTube and never go back. I will download all of my videos and re-upload them to whatever new platform is available. Encrypt your email, still talk in code, but say nothing important or / of value. Yep. And that's how you waste government resources, and you make them realize that this is a futile effort, and the criminals are going to slip through the cracks anyways. You're just making it inconvenient for everybody else. So everybody else is going to make it inconvenient for you. And I highly encourage this. I encourage absolute fucking anarchy. I am a demon after all. I'm just a cute demon. The raven flies north while the sun sets. Tuesday's coming. Did you bring your coat? Translation, hey, hope you're good. I'm off to bed. Yeah, just have like an entirely coded language how you speak to your friends. Learn Klingon. Create a conlang between you and your friends and use that to communicate with one another. Klingon is too popular. That's why you have a custom conlang.
But that's essentially what that is. Raven flies north while the sun sets. That is essentially, you're using alternative phrases to describe something else. Your friend could be Raven. North could be a positive. And the sun sets, going to bed. You've created a conlang right there. Romulan. Yeah. But the thing is, if it's a conlang that exists, then there's someone to translate it. But a code speak, where, you know, you could have, like your example there, if you and your friends all know the code and know how to navigate it, then what's the government gonna do? They won't have the knowledge how to decode what you're saying, and you could be talking about your cat's vomit for all they know. And it would tie up so many resources that they'll just throw up their hands and go, fuck this! But I am an anarchist at heart. While I am, like, law-abiding and a little bit of lawful good, I think I'm actually more neutral good. I have a tendency to just be good. Right? I've never committed a crime in my life, not knowingly anyways. And I hate criminals. I hate people who break the rules. But also, sometimes you have to break the rules, because otherwise the rules infringe upon your rights and freedoms as a human being. Yeah, or they won't give up. They'll just increase taxes and add it to the military budget. Not in our country. But, like, I believe it's time for the good people of the world to step up and, you know, public trust companies or public trust corporations like Gander Social are more important than ever. Countries like Canada that really truly value free speech are also very important. It's also very important to discuss the issues faced by the people who fall into things like the Reich and QAnon conspiracy and all that stuff. How people are radicalized. You have to find ways to pull those people out, and you know, those discussions are really important, and you have to keep an eye on them, because otherwise you do get incidents like what happened in Australia, where somebody went and killed a whole bunch of people. There's a waiting list to join the military? Jesus. I keep checking, but they don't have any jobs that I'm capable of applying to. And I can't do basic, and I'm already too old. They don't like taking people who are over 40 because, well, they're gonna fall apart at the seams soon if they're not already. And I've been unhealthy my entire life. I don't know why, because I used to be very active as a kid. And even as a teenager, I was still pretty active. I was always out in the woods. Even now, I'm like getting back into LARP just so that I can get more fit. And I want to have a homestead and move out into the woods and build a straw bale house. I'm really on the straw bale house thing right now. Could build a whole bunch of straw bale tiny houses. I wonder if there's provisions in the Ontario Building Code for that. Straw bale houses. There's gotta be. Man, Blue Machine looks so good. He and Starcatcher are kind of rivals.
Well, I mean, there has to be some provision somewhere, Neff. Because like there are Earth ships in Ontario, and straw bale houses are cleaner than Earth ships because Earth ships use big tire walls, and tires degrade and are gross and dirty and full of toxins. Whereas a straw bale house is literally just that. It's straw and plaster and wood. Like it's the cleanest you can get, say for building out of straight rocks. And even then, building out of straight rocks, if you use enough granite, you might have a boron problem. I guess I have to find someone to raid, because we're really close to the end of stream. I was just looking at them like, things are ending them fast. Still no Evan, but he usually doesn't start until noon. He never replied to me. I asked him if everything was okay, but he hasn't responded. Local main. There's also CNOT though. We haven't raided into CNOT a really long time. Right, but it doesn't make money for the politicians investing in construction companies and materials, so it's not up to code. Fuck the code. Again, anarchy. If I own the land, I'll build what I want on it, and the government can suck my left nut. They can pry it from my cold, dead hands. Besides, if I build a straw bale house, it'll be better than code. I'd like to see what they do then. I'm also very vicious when people tell me I can't do something. Especially when it's the right something. It's the same thing. We're going back to Cricket versus Silhouette, Audi versus everybody else. You can't do that. Say exactly, I will do it. A friend of mine, Tyler, he's been here before. His uncle owns some land, and he built a cabin on it, and technically it's not up to code. He's done all these improvements and everything, but because they can't enter the property to take pictures to take him to court, they can't tell him that he can't build. And if they tell him that, oh, you've built this illegal thing, he's like, well, how did you find out? Oh, you entered my property? You entered my property? They're like, no, we took the pictures from the road. And he's like, you mean this road? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, from here? You took pictures of the property from here? And they're like, yes. And it's like, well, you can't, because you can't see it because there's a hill in the way, which means you didn't take pictures from the property line. You had to have entered the property to have taken these pictures. So guess what? If you build something and they don't know about it, there's nothing they can do. And I'm very much yeah, fuck you, I'll do what I want. I'm sick of your bullshit, and I need a home I can live in that I know is clean and healthy and safe. And none of the ones that are for sale right now are like that at all. I want to live in a smaller home, and you keep building these giant things. I don't like cleaning houses. Your home isn't up to code. How would you know? We got pictures. You had to enter my home then because it's underground. You see, you don't even tell them that much. You had to enter my property. You can't enter my property to see my home. You can't see my home from the road. You don't tell them it's underground because they'll be like, oh, that's not up to code. Even though underground homes actually do exist, and I believe there are provisions in the Ontario Building Code for underground homes. And that's why you make sure that you can't be seen from the road. Because if they enter your property to take pictures, you can take them to court and be like, hey, what you did is illegal, and then they can't do anything about it because you get the case thrown out with prejudice. Yeah, well, it's an invasion of privacy. And you can't... People building small homes above ground and expanding underground is causing all kinds of issues thanks to Toronto. Yeah, but that's different. More note-taking. Roman likes my chaos, apparently. It's kind of different, but not really. Well, it's... The thing with Toronto is there's so much infrastructure underground that they would have to have, like, municipal provisions. Yeah, that it's a little bit different because it would be based on, you know, where you're building too. I don't see the government really stepping in Timmins where all the mines you could hear. You used to be able to hear the miners like chipping away in the mines at night in your house. There are places in Timmins where you can't build because the ground is so unstable that if you were to build there, it would just collapse. They're profiting from the mines, yeah. Well, I mean, this was before there was legislation in place requiring certain depth of mines, for tunneling mines. And there are now methods of mining where they do like strip mining underground and they fill in the tunnel behind them with rubble and extra stuff. So we're working on it. I hate the really big, like, open pit strip mining. I hate that. It ruins the landscape. It ruins everything. And they only do it because it's the cheapest version of it, where they take down, like, a whole mountain and it literally changes the weather patterns in the area. Yep, remember, it's only against the law because someone in charge didn't like it, not because it's an actual danger / problem. Well, that's not always true. But there are instances where it is true, and quite frequently it is the case that someone in charge is not making enough money, or they want to make more money by restricting people, and it's usually the rich people and the lobbies and the corporations that are doing this. It's like the same reason Donald Trump is trying to shut down this new bridge that's in Detroit to Windsor. The Ambassador Bridge in Canada at the Detroit-Windsor border is actually owned privately by an American family. It's a privately owned bridge, and they're making millions per day on tolls. And Canada wanted to build a new bridge because the Ambassador Bridge is too busy, and it's privately owned. And America didn't want to build a new bridge, but they're like, yeah, go ahead, build the bridge. So Canada footed the bill of $700 billion, I think it was, or $7.5 billion. I don't know, some ridiculous number. And Donald Trump is like, oh, I hate Canada, they're bad, and they're not giving us 50% ownership of this bridge that they paid all the money to build. And they're not agreeing to use American steel because we make our own steel and we paid for the bridge, so we're building it with our shit and we're taking the tolls from it to help pay for the fucking bridge. But Trump's trying to shut it down, probably because the owners of the Ambassador Bridge went to him and said, hey, this isn't good, we're gonna lose money. Yeah, the illegal eating orange in your bathtub in Florida, like, I just want to know what's up with that. I agree, Neff. Like, how did that law come about? Why? Well, why? They're not gonna lose money, they're gonna make less money. Yeah, a lot less money. Like, a shit ton less. And so Donald Trump is trying to block this bridge. He's like, oh, I'm gonna shut it down because Canada won't give it to me. It's extortion. It's a racket. And this is why I'm as I get older, I'm becoming progressively more like, yeah, fuck the government. I'll support the government that agrees to do the good and the right thing, and I won't support companies that don't do the good and the right thing. This age verification, it is the wrong thing. It is straight up the wrong thing. Okay. Fantasy wanted to go to Mocha Maid. I'm not dissatisfied with my government, but I think they could do better. Yes. They could do much better. But government is very slow to move. Unfortunately, legislation takes time. And we need to find a way to speed it up because the world is speeding up. So, my Franz, we're off sailing to other waters. Only 7 viewers today. That's a shame. May you wash ashore on distant lands and find new adventure. We're off to see Mocha Maid, the place of chaos, the land of absolute insanity. I love these guys. You guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you tomorrow at the usual time. Thank you for coming by. I'm glad we got a witch done today. We just have a couple more left, and then I will have to work on all of the people, all of the non-witches, which is just as many plus more, I think. Yes. I've already drawn the hunter, so we're good there. And remember, I love you. Bye-bye.